Base. Live in spaces, live in the streaming.
We are live
There we go.
in
I got
all of
you.
the places.
All right, let me mute my Zoom, aka my computer.
Let's see. There's so many different
Uh,
streams now. Like I've got Zoom, I've got Spaces, I've got YouTube, I've got um, the OBS recording the Threadcast, all of the places. Oh no, you want your mic?
oh wait, I need my mic
Yeah,
on.
in
Wait,
Zoom.
but then
Yeah,
my mic's gonna. Oh wait, so yeah, as long as you Zoom mute audio as well,
yeah,
because otherwise there'll be feedback.
yeah. Yeah, like my receiving audio in Zoom is muted.
Yep, me too.
So cool. So we're just listening to each other on the Spaces, and then Zoom's just
Correct.
recording. We should be good.
Yes.
See if this
Now
is
we
a
just
little
gotta
smoother than last time.
jump into the Threadcast.
Yeah.
If you're not Threadcasting, you're not
A
threading.
lion.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we're good to go then. Good to
Bitcoin
go.
Flood asked, "What do you use to broadcast to all the places? Software? Question mark.
So we're using obviously X. You have to use, in the app itself. So we're obviously on X, and then we're using Restream for um for the YouTube live stream, and it also used to broadcast to Twitter, but obviously now that's a little different. Actually, no, I think there's still a Twitter broadcast. So there's a Twitter like video broadcast. Then there's also the X Spaces on my personal account, and then there's the YouTube live. So all that is handled by X and Restream, and then we've got Zoom for the recording, and then we've got OBS recording the live threadcast. So if you guys have watched like the last, and this is only we just started doing this on like the last two, but now if you watch the recording of the AMA, it's got the threadcast like embedded on the video, so it's kind of cool. You can see all the questions coming in live, so you guys can all wave to the recording if you want in the threadcast, and they'll see you on the screen. So yeah, basically Zoom, Restream, OBS, and X. That's what we're using. And then obviously we've got INLEO for the Threadcast.
That's bananas.
Lot of shit, a lot of shit. When AMA on Twitch, I don't know. Maybe at some point. I don't know if like AMAs do that well on Twitch. I mean, I haven't used Twitch in years. I used to watch obviously like video game live streams on there, but I've never really seen like AMAs on it.
I love it. Taskmaster coming out firing. I'm working on Leo Glossary and going to listen to a bit of the Leo AMA. Hopefully, Cal will have something new for us instead of just fluff.
Is it usually
Shots
just fluff?
fired.
That's crazy.
Oh, in fact, you know what? I gotta find a good gift for that. Shots fired. That was awesome.
Any updates on Leo Shorts from M Coins? Yeah, we're slowly working on Leo Shorts. There's some issues with the integration, so we just want to make sure that it integrates well and it's not it doesn't break other pieces of the UI. Because obviously we have to use a third party service, which is 3Speak, to host those videos. So we just got to make sure that it works well and isn't a burden on the user experience. But yeah, soon. I mean, it's definitely going to come before the end of the year, but I keep saying that like it's like a week or two away. Uh, and every time we turn over a rock, we find new problems, but we'll get there.
That is how it be.
Tokenized Society said, is the ad revenue contract behaving well? When can we expect the first purchases? Yeah, I was actually looking at it because it's been live for almost 7 days exactly. And the purchases happen roughly every week, but it's randomized so that nobody can front run it. So it's probably going to happen anytime now. I mean, we'll see the first purchase. And then there's the old at Leo ads account, which is reactivated for the contract. So you'll start to see Leo pool up in that account. I've been waiting. I've got this announcement post that I've been sitting on since the first of the month. And I've just been waiting to drop it until we start to see the data come in the first ad revenue buy. So yeah, I want to get that data in before I release the post and announce everything. But yeah, I think probably within the next, I mean, it should be today because obviously today's the 7th. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's randomized, so even I don't know when it purchases Leo. I have no idea. I just know that it's roughly every 7 days, and we'll see the first buy, and then you'll start to see it kind of pool up, and then it will create the new rewards pool. And this is all in the announcement post, but it creates a secondary rewards pool, secondary to the primary rewards pool, which comes from the 6,000 Leo per day inflation rate. So this creates a whole new rewards pool that can only be earned by Leo power holders. And all you need to do to earn from it is it's proportional to how much Leo you have staked, but your stake needs to be active. So if you're inactively staked, so if if you've got Leo, if you let's say you got 10,000 Leo power stake, but you don't upvote anything, you won't be eligible to earn from the Leo ads pool. And there's a few different reasons for that, but yeah, I mean, if you basically send out an upvote once a week at the bare minimum, you will still earn from the Leo ads pool, proportional to how much Leo power you have staked.
Sweet. One vote a week. The cat can handle that.
Yeah, it's not meant to be like you need to be daily, like a daily active user. It's definitely meant to be, you just need to have some level of activity on the platform. You can't just be like a backseat, passively not doing anything.
Mcoin79 asked, have you figured out the problems with displaying the ads? My answer to that's going to be no, is my guess, since I'm still seeing not ads. Coinzilla for the
We
win.
Yeah, no, we have figured that out. It's related, mostly related to geography and VPNs, that you won't see ads. So, and that is just it's something that's pretty much out of our control. The more that the people that do see the ads, this is what we've noticed. The more that they actually click on those ads, the more that all of you guys who don't see the ads actually will see ads because it's seen as being more, like if something's getting a lot of clicks, then it's going to show it more even to people in other geographies. So if you do see ads, and I know Eric has been working on this, and you're interested in it, click on it because it helps other people who don't see ads to see more ads, essentially. But the whole ad network system is very complicated because, obviously they want to show ads to people they think will click and do the actions. But yeah, what we've noticed is that certain people in different geographies, like they'll basically never see an ad. The long-term solution to that, obviously our main ad partner is Coinzilla, and they have their own rules and restrictions. The main solution to that in the long term is to have our own ad network and do direct ad listings, which is it's always been the long-term plan. And we're starting to kind of get to a point where we can actually do this because we have the traffic that we need. I think at 500,000, we're closing it on like 500,000 page views per month. And I think we're starting to get big enough where we can have different ad partners directly list ads on the UI, and we'll actually make a lot more money doing that. As opposed to an ad network like Coinzilla. I would say with Coinzilla, we're like 10% of the efficiency that we could be. So we could probably 10x the ad revenue if we were fully direct listed for ads. So that means that every ad you see is a company that directly reaches out to us through the UI and puts their ad live through us directly, as opposed to an ad network partner, where they're taking a cut and then they've got rules and restrictions. So more than half of you guys never even see ads. So if we're able to slowly build our own ad network, I really think the ad revenue would essentially 10x overnight. But that's not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens slowly and over a long period of time. But the next step in that is to create a UI, which we've got designed, and then we'll start developing sometime before the end of the year, which will allow companies to come in and put up their own ads. It'll look a lot like, if you've ever used like Facebook's ad marketplace, it'll look a lot like that. So they'll have, banner recommendations for sizing and stuff. They'll upload their banner, they'll upload the link, they'll set a budget, set a number of days they want the campaign to run, all that stuff, and then they'll launch the ad, and then it just has to get approved. So I have a few different ideas for how we approve ads, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool, because
The current plan is to
leverage the Leo polls protocol. So it uses custom JSON voting to do polls. So the current plan is that when a company comes in, they use that ad interface to create an ad and set a budget, create a campaign, and then it gets sent to a poll that's 24 hours long. And everyone who is an INLEO user can vote on that poll to basically see, basically approve or not approve that ad. So they can say, it'll say like approve, not approve. It'll have the ad. It'll have a little description about what that ad's about, what that company's about, and then the Leo community has the ultimate say in, do we want this ad on the UI or do we not? And then obviously, if it's like that looks kind of scammy, then the community can say no, we don't want this ad, and then the ad company will get refunded in. They'll basically get to see that the poll didn't go through. So
that's how that's going to work.
But like I said, it's gonna be a lot more efficient than using an ad network, because we lose a lot of the value to the ad network itself, and then we also, obviously, a lot of you guys aren't even seeing ads, so we're losing a lot of value in that department. But we're also not at the size that we need to be at to have constant, like, companies streaming in to put ads on the UI. But I do think that's going to change. I mean, that we're seeing the page views are more than 10x what they were like a year ago. So they're saying that Mitch, do you have headphones in on Spaces?
I don't. Oh, so the audio's kept picking up on the phone now as well?
Yeah, I think they're echoing.
So many things. Let me grab headphones
All right.
for my phone. That makes sense. I forgot one thing amongst all the mutings and turnings and all the things.
Yeah, we'll get the echo fixed, guys. I think you just gotta throw headphones in. Taskmaster said, when decentralized polling and long form content. Yeah, actually, I mean, I saw your message, obviously, about that, but I looked into that. We're gonna need to develop like a whole new poll protocol. It's not about just like, we can't just take what we've got for threads and just put it into long form, because it doesn't work that way. But we'll work on that. It's on the roadmap after you messaged me about it, but it's not something that we can just easily submit into long form. Yeah, Nanzo, we've got on the roadmap for a post promotion feature, also a thread promotion feature, where you can pay Leo to basically promote your posts or threads to the top of the feeds. So that's on the Dev 100 roadmap. So probably in the near future, because everything on that Dev 100 list is pretty. That's all the stuff that's kind of like could happen at any point, essentially. And I explained how that Dev 100 list works in a post a few weeks back.
We should be all set on the echo.
Cool. Yeah, let me know if it's echoing, if you guys hear any echoes. Embed option for thread pull into the article. Yeah, Bitcoin flood. That's essentially what we have to build is something where, like, basically like an iframe where polls can be embedded in various places. So we want it to be able to get embedded on long form posts, obviously on INLEO, but then also we want to be able to make it so anyone can embed a poll anywhere. So like if you're on X, you could even embed the poll there, or if you're on, you know, Peak D or ECNC, you can embed the poll, and then people can obviously vote on it and get to the INLEO UI. No echoes now. Cool. Thanks, John. Penial threads promotion feature seems cool, but I think it's not really a must at times. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's another sync for Leo. It's another way to basically absorb value. So I think there's, and we haven't decided on any of this, but I think in the direction that we're moving, it would absorb Leo into, you know, the Leo pool account, which you guys see for the premium stuff. You know, all the 10 HBD that everyone pays to be a premium member goes to the Leo pool account, and then it buys Hive and buys Leo, and then it pools Beehive-B Leo permanently for permanent liquidity. I think we're probably moving in that direction where post promotion would do the same thing, and it would create permanent liquidity, as opposed to what we were doing before, which is just everything that is collected burns Leo, whether it was Leo ads or premium or you know, post promotions in the old days. Everything just went to burning Leo. I think the move forward is building that permanent liquidity pool. I think liquidity is more valuable as a function for Leo than burning it. And we already have a very tight float of Leo. Like there's no Leo out there. If you try to buy Leo, it's so illiquid, it's crazy. So what we really need is more revenue that buys Leo, and liquidity that builds the ability for people to buy and sell Leo without a lot of slippage.
Task said, when decentralized polling in a long form content. I really need that. Going to
Yeah,
close to 700 polls right now.
I think you missed that when you were getting the
okay.
headphones, but I answered that. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we'll add that later, but like I said, we have to build a whole system for that. So it's not just like we can just say, oh, we've got it on short form, let's push it to long form. You got to build a whole framing system for that. When AI long form to thread for premium Bitcoin man. Yeah, we rolled that out and then we had to roll it back because it's causing a lot of issues with other things on the UI. So we've got that on the private UI and we're just testing it, and then it'll get rolled out. So we'll see when that goes live, but we need to make some changes to it first.
So while we're kind of letting more questions queue up, are there any particular updates, news items, or anything that are noteworthy to share, or are we pretty much kind of up to date just based on the questioning?
Yeah, we've pushed out a ton of updates to the UI recently. We pushed out a bunch of them to labs, and then labs actually got pushed to production last night. So you guys probably see a ton of different updates. So I just said this morning we pushed out an update for the account switcher. So you guys might have noticed a change there. It works a lot better. We had some issues with the old one, so we made some changes. Now you can see the notifications between your other accounts when you're logged into one of them. And then just in general, it just works better when you switch accounts. You don't have to like refresh the page after you switch, stuff like that. A bunch of bug fixes, so I won't really go through all the individual ones, but there were a ton of issues with, you know, longer threads and all sorts of other things. So we fixed all that. There was an issue with emojis and GIFs not working, so we fixed that. And then we had a huge update for lists. So now if you're a premium user, you can see at the top of your feeds that you've got the For You, the latest trending following, and then there's a Your Lists now at the last feed. And if you click that, it's a drop down and it shows you all the lists you follow, and you can pick from any of your lists, and then it puts it in that feed. So like, for example, like I've got Premium Lions as a list that I follow, and I can just click Your Lists and then select Premium Lions, and then the feed is all premium users threads. And then coinciding with that, we added a new section to the settings page. So if you're not premium, you can now set the default feed to whichever of the 4 feeds you want. So it's for you, latest, trending, and following. So you can set the default feed when you go to the homepage, whichever feed you like the best. We also changed the default setting to be the latest instead of for you. So I know a lot of people are asking for that. So now it's the latest feed, and then you can obviously set it to for you if you prefer that feed as your default, or any of the other 4. And then if you're premium, you can set it to any of those 4 feeds, or you can set it to any of your lists. So that's pretty cool as a premium user. Like I keep using this example, but I follow that premium Lions feed. If I want, when I go to the homepage, the main feed that I see right when I land on the homepage to be the premium users, I can click that setting, and then now every time I go to the homepage, it'll default to that list. Brando just shared a screenshot of what that looks like. So I'm really happy with how that looks, and it radically improves content discovery for threads, especially as a premium user. Just the ability to sort through threads and find things through lists is really powerful. The next update for lists is going to be the ability to add hashtags into this, the list feed. So like, for example, like if I've got a Bitcoin list, I put like Addicted in there. I put a few other people who tend to talk about Bitcoin into that list. I can also add the hashtag Bitcoin tag into that list, so then anyone who uses that tag will also populate that list.
So I'm actually messing with this now. So I can see, excuse me, I can see I can add it, the little plus thing, and then I'll go and like hit Premium Lions. And now I'm following it. But then like in his screenshot, it looked like it was a drop down. I can't, although I'm not on labs, I'm on just regular.
So you're saying you hit the drop down and there's no lists there?
Like I'll add it and I'll go back, to the home page, and then it's just nothing but the plus sign. And if I hover over that, it just says add feed. So if I hit the plus sign, it takes me to explore lists, and then I can, select.
Are you following any lists?
I am now following Premium Lions.
There you go. Yeah, so give that a second, maybe refresh the page now that you're following, because you got to be following lists. So it's a your lists selector. So once you're following lists, then you can select from those.
Probably just needs to index or whatever, because I refreshed and whatnot. I'll add some more, see what happens.
Ahmad Manga said that your list tab keeps loading and I can't click it. It's because you're not a premium user. So you got to be premium to have that your list feature.
You just got served.
Boom. Be premium. Yep. Premium
it's
only
already been brought in.
Lists are one of the few premium only features.
There you go. You want the curated lists. You know what? Literally that alone is worth premium to me, because as I said, me and INLEO have not been getting along in terms of what comes through my feed. So if I can.
Yeah, start following the lists. I'm telling you, the lists, I've been using it more, and it's very good at filtering out content. And I think a lot more, and you can follow anybody's lists. So it's very useful, and I think it's only going to get more and more useful as people build out really cool lists of various users. And then when we add the hashtag feature, I think that's going to be cool also. And then over time, the plan is to add algorithms into the lists too. So you'll have the list where it will show like the raw, like full list if you want it. And then we'll also have filtering inside of the list where you'll be able to say, okay, I want to see everyone in this list, but only if they have more than 1 upvote and 1 reply to their thread, and then filter out all the ones that have 0 upvotes and 0 replies. So there's basically going to be filtering within the filter of lists, which even, and I don't think that's super important right now just because of the number of users that we've got. But as we get more and more people using the UI, it'll be more and more important to filter out, the type of content you want to see. Sunseeker said every time I click a list, I get a page error. Where are you clicking the list from? Would be my question.
I get that error
It also looks
sometimes
like
for
you're not
stuff.
logged in. I would try logging out and then logging back in because it looks like you're not logged in properly. Um, and then just let me know where you're clicking from. Yeah, Nomad Soul said we're at 103 premium users now, so and growing pretty quick. We're getting a couple new premiums every single day.
I haven't looked at the leaderboard in forever because I saw it in her screenshot, but like mine, it doesn't profiles the last link to show. I have to hit the more button. Um, just in terms of the way my browser displays. But yeah, looking at the leaderboard, I'm always like, oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing. And how does one get on the leaderboard? I see this post engagement and votes allocated and threads. So, I mean, is it just putting up numbers at the end of the day?
For what, the leaderboard?
Yeah. And
Yeah, I
how
mean
often
it's
does that
just
refresh?
ranking.
Is that like a running thing or is it like
It's a
every
running thing.
24?
So there's every 24 hours and then every
Gotcha.
7 days you can choose. So daily or weekly. Um, so it's just a running total. So like 24 hours ago at 11:44 a.m. November 6th to today, and then it just keeps running total.
Interesting.
Um,
We got some
yeah,
people that are quite active in threads. Task is
heavy
down.
users in
Task is
there.
down at number 5 on the threads, slowing down in his old age. Mr. Hive is number 1 right now. Branto 28's top 3. None so right's number 4.
Yeah, I was just checking in on the premium also. It's already purchased almost 15,000 Leo. So pretty crazy. It's only been what, a week, little 10 days. I think it's been 10 days. We launched it October 27th, I think. So it's been about 10 days. And yeah, we'll see how that keeps stacking. I mean, my goal by the end of November, November 27th, because that'll be 30 days after the launch, is to have 200 recurring premium members. So we're at 103 right now, halfway there in the first 10 days. So I think we can do it. And having the reason why 200 is kind of the number we picked is because once we hit 200 recurring subs, that'll be $1,000 per month because it's $2,000 being collected from 200 users. So $1,000 a month buying Leo, $1,000 buying Hive, and then pooling together, creating $2,000 in that liquidity pool every month in permanent liquidity. So it'll be $1,000 in buying pressure on Leo every single month, which right now at the current price is like 35,000 Leo a month. So it's pretty good because the inflation, let's see. So monthly inflation on Leo right now is roughly 180,000 Leo. So, if we have 200 premium subscribers, that'll be 35,000 Leo per month at the current price, which would be about 20% of inflation getting bought back just by premium, and then obviously getting pooled permanently. And one of my goals, I was talking to Eric about this, is that every premium user, essentially when you get your first premium, it pays off every month. It pays itself. So I keep calling it premium that pays itself. Because the goal is that you pay 10 HBD, that's your first premium subscription for a month. And as long as you're active, you're creating threads, you're creating posts, you're going to be getting a lot more upvotes, both from Leo.voter, from my account, because I'm always scrolling for through that premium Lions feed and upvoting people. And then also just from the community at large, because they see the check mark, you immediately stand out. You also rank higher in the For You feeds. And then when you see that check mark and you're a Leo Power or a Hive Power holder, you know that that person is paying 10 HBD a month, and their 10 HBD is getting used to buy Leo and buy Hive. So it's like a very, the game theory behind it is very much set up so that anyone who's a Leo Power or a Hive Power holder is incentivized to upvote you as a premium user. So, you know, my goal is that when you sign up for premium once, it really does pay itself, and every single month it pays itself multifold over, so that it's never a net loss to be a premium member as long as you're active. I mean, if you sign up for premium and you make 0 threads and 0 posts throughout the month, then I could see it being obviously not you know, valuable because you're not active. But if you're an active user and you sign up for premium, I think it should pay for itself multiple times over.
Bitcoin
Bitcoin
Flood.
Flood said, oh, go ahead.
Looking at the same thing. He said, and that liquidity pool is on Cub, correct? Or is it BSwap or others? So basically he's trying to verify where that liquidity ends up.
Yeah, so it goes to BLeo-Beehive. So it says it in the post too that announced premium, but you know, so like let's say there's 200 subscribers a month. Right now we're at 103, 10 days in. So let's say there's 200 subscribers a month. That's $1,000 worth of Leo, $1,000 worth of Hive that's getting bought back each month. So that's $2,000 in total. And it gets wrapped to Beehive and BLeo, and then it goes into the BLeo-Beehive liquidity pool on Cub permanently. And then, you know, in the long term, you know, at some point in the future, maybe we look at it and we say, okay, the BLeo-Beehive pool is really big. Let's, you know, turn this, let's start pushing some of the payments, some percentage of them into the Beehive-Pleo pool or the WLeo pool. So we'll see how that kind of progresses over time. But right now, for the foreseeable future, we're just going to make that BLeo-Beehive pool as big as possible. It's actually the most active pool because it's got, you know, low fees. I think most people on Hive are pretty active on BSC. So it's got the lowest fees, got a lot of activity. So that is the number one focus right now is building up that liquidity pool and getting more users into it, which, and I know everyone always asks, what are the updates for Cub? Because they feel like there aren't any. This is an update for Cub. This is like, you know, this is obviously a huge update for Leo, having premium, having the buy pressure on Leo and Hive, and then creating the permanent liquidity in the Leo liquidity pool. But as much of an update as it is for Leo, it is an update for Cub, because Cub earns from the wrapping fees on BLeo, Beehive, BHBD. So building up the liquidity in those pools and those oracles ultimately helps Cub in the long run. So everything in this ecosystem is very much circular, and it's very much meant to help itself. So the more premium subscribers we have, the more liquidity gets sent through the oracle onto the other side of BSC and gets pooled, which ultimately in the long run creates more trading volume, which ultimately supports Cub through the buybacks on the wrapping fees that it earns. So Cub is the beneficiary of wrapping fees, and all this premium stuff is building liquidity for Leo, but it's also building up liquidity that will eventually create more wrapping fees for Cub.
Well, it sounds like the perks of premium is enticing more people, so that's good.
Taskmaster said, keep in mind the payment is in HBD, and the higher the price of Leo, the more payout for each person. So it makes it easier to cover the cost. Yeah, I mean, the more that Leo goes up, it's true. And you're also earning when you get upvoted. And we actually, that's another update I missed that we pushed in last week. If you hover over the payout, we created a new payment module. So now it breaks out the Leo, the HBD, and the Hive that you're earning on every thread and post. It breaks it down really nicely. So it shows you when you see it, the total figure that you see is in dollars. So for example, I'm hovering over Taskmaster's thread, and it says 4 cents on the main display. So he's earning 4 cents, but then it shows you the breakdown of how much Leo, HBD, and Hive he's earning for that. So the cool thing about this ecosystem, and I think I really think premium is like a game changer for Leo in a lot of different ways. But one of the big ways that it changes everything is that we're all earning Leo, HBD, and Hive for every single upvote that comes in. So as a premium user, if you're earning more upvotes both from the community and from the team, you're earning more Leo, Hive, and HBD. And then ultimately, when you go back to subscribe again the next month, you've earned all three different currencies. So it's, I really think it's easy for premium to pay itself. And I run the numbers, and I've talked to Eric, I've talked to a few other people, and I think it's just it's a given that it really pays for itself. And we're only going to keep building on top of that.
Yes, use earned interest from HBD savings to pay your monthly premium subscription. That's my play. That's how you free roll premium.
Yeah, and then make one post a week or one post a day, or 10 threads a day, and I think it'll pay for itself pretty easily. Amy said, I'll consider subscribing to premium sooner than I thought. I want to enjoy all the incentives, features, and good things INLEO has to offer. Yeah, I mean, I think premium, you don't have to be premium. We're not building this platform so that if you're, and I think Elon's kind of moving that way with Twitter. We're not building this platform in a way where if you're not premium, you don't matter and you don't show up in the feeds and, the experience sucks. We're building it in a way where if you're premium, you get like a VIP treatment experience, which is how the economy has worked for hundreds of years. We've functioned in that way where people can pay to get a superb or superior experience. But that doesn't mean that if you don't pay, you get it doesn't mean that if you don't pay, you're treated differently or badly. You're treated great if you don't pay. Like you're treated as a great customer. But if you're premium, then you're like VIP. We pull out the velvet rope for you, and you're part of an exclusive club. That's been a long-standing feature of various economies, and I think it's a great model. Yeah, Ahmad Manga. I mean, I really think that subscribing to premium will pay for itself. I mean, I keep saying that, and I know that I have to be careful saying that, but I really do think so. Like, unless it's like I said, unless you don't make any content, if you don't make any threads or posts throughout the whole month, I really just think that premium pays itself pretty easily. I saw someone made a post that they subscribed to premium, and within 1 week, their earnings had already paid for the premium. Their increased earnings, not even what they, like on top of what they were normally making. So
Good on them for paying attention and tracking that enough. I have actually no idea what impact premiums had for me since I've signed up. If it has, if it hasn't, didn't really keep track.
we got here. Oh, and then another update that I didn't talk about is the new real-time notifications. So you guys might see them. If someone replies, so the old real-time notifications are still live, but those are for votes. So now when someone votes on you, and real-time with the other pop-up notifications. So when someone upvotes you, you see it in the top right of the screen, like someone voted your post, right? But now there's a new real-time notification for replies. So if someone replies to you, it shows in the bottom right, and it's a different module, so it's like a bigger box. And if you click on it, it will take you direct. This is a highly requested feature. If you click on it, it will take you directly to that reply so that you can reply back. So like I'm seeing like Sammy Hive replied to your comment, and then if I click that, it'll take me right to Sammy Hive's reply, and then I can just click on it and reply. So I noticed a little thing with if you're on a certain theme, I think there's like the replies kind of like stack on top of each other. So we're gonna get that fixed. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but it's if you're on like a specific theme. I'm not sure which one, but we'll get that fixed. So that is another new feature. We released so many features. I don't have the list right in front of me, but going through my old threads to see, because I was kind of threading them out in real time as we were pushing things out. And then I held a raffle, and I gave away 3 premium subscriptions. So iFarm Girl was one of them, and I see she's in the Threadcast. And then I gave it out to 2 others.
That's cool.
And I will keep doing more raffles like that. And Eric actually commented in the Threadcast with a good idea. Every 100 premium subs, we could raffle out a refund essentially of the 10 HPD. And I would pay that out of my personal account, not from the premium account. But I think that would be cool. Basically, like premium, you get your premium payment back 1 out of every 100 users.
I agree with Bitcoin Flood on the real-time notifications. It actually has made it easier to interact with people because I will see them pop up and then I'm like, oh, sweet. So if like someone like, especially on, like if it's a notification for a comment and I see that, then I'll go to that post and, end up responding to their comment as opposed to me maybe not seeing it if I don't just, go look back at the comments on my posts.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's super useful. Yeah, Luis88 just posted up a screenshot of it. And we're going to add one of the next updates for that is we're going to add filters so that you can, if you want to completely turn off real-time notifications, like I know some people may not actually like, seeing pop-ups all the time for when someone replies to them. So you'll be able to turn them off. You'll be able to filter them out. So like, let's say you want to filter for, you want to filter people by reputation, or you want to filter them by if they're a premium user or not. You'll be able to filter them on your end as a setting in your settings page.
Did you see tokenized questions about the notification displays and being indexed and whatnot? I actually have the same exact question. So
yeah, so we're actually working on this indexing issue. I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle it because, in my opinion, that if it were an ideal world and I could have it my way, it would be that there's no indexing lag. So like right now, there's like a 30-second delay for when threads actually get indexed. So my ideal world is that there's no more lag, and as soon as you click on something, it's immediately available. So the devs and I are trying to figure out a way to do that. We don't really have a solution for it yet, just because this is the way, once something, so Hive has 3-second blocks, but it does still take time we need to send information to a Hive node. So that takes 3 seconds. Then we also need to wait for it to get indexed and then read it back to our UI. And then the UI still needs time to display it. So that's why there's like a delay between when threads are initially posted and when you can actually see them. The solution we built, we call fake threads. For when you post a thread, we didn't want you to have to wait 30 seconds to see it in the feed. If you go back actually to day 1 of threads, you guys remember when you posted a thread, you had to wait like 30 seconds or 60 seconds to see if it even posted. Our solution to that was to create something called fake threads, where it actually caches the thread on your local browser when you create it. So it shows it immediately in the feed so that you know that, hey, it got posted and it's going to be indexed after 30 seconds fully for everyone else to see. So that was our solution for that. But we can't use that solution for the full indexing. So we're still trying to figure out how to go about that, because we can't put other users' threads into your local browser cache, if that makes sense. We can only put your threads into that cache. So we're trying to figure that out. So like I said, in an ideal world, we can figure that out and there's no more indexing lag. In a less ideal world, if we can't solve for that, then we'll do something where, like, for example, when a real-time notification pops up, instead of giving it to you right away, we'll delay the notification by 30 seconds so that it gives it to you when the thread is fully indexed, so that when you click on it, it's there. That is the less ideal solution, though. So that is our minimum viable solution, but I think we'll be able to solve the indexing problem, in my opinion, at some point. We just have to do more research and figure it out. Yeah, Luis88. So it's also on the roadmap to have, when you have a threadcast, you can embed the live stream. somewhere in the page of the threadcast, and then people can like pop it out to the right. So you can like watch the stream on the same page. You never have to leave the page of the threadcast. So that's on the roadmap. Sammy Hive said, does ranking status like Lion Cub, etc., have any bearing with the premium services and subscription? No, they don't. But we are building Leo NFTs, and the NFTs will start to have a role in Leo Power and other things like that. So it's kind of a separate protocol than premium. Premium is meant to be like you subscribe and you get, exclusive features. Having Leo Power staked and having those roles is meant to be more like gamified and fun, if that makes sense. Taskmaster said, when threadcast scheduler and calendar. Yeah, we've got that one on the Dev 100 actually, so that could be anytime. It's on the more immediate roadmap, and I have a cool design for it, so I'm excited to see it. It'll part of it. There's multiple parts to it. So one of them is that when you go to the homepage, you'll see the calendar of all the upcoming threadcasts, and you'll be able to schedule your own threadcasts and stuff like that. The other part of it is that when someone is in a threadcast, so like all of you guys that are commenting right now, and you've got the page open for the threadcast, it will take all the users who have recently replied to the threadcast, and it will, if you've seen this on X, like when you're in a space, it puts like a purple ring around your user profile. So like all of you guys in the space right now, you've got like a purple ring on your profile. So if anyone else is like on your Twitter profile or seeing you, in various places on Twitter, they're seeing that purple icon. And then if they click your profile, it'll take them to this space, just because you're in it. So we're building a very similar thing where if you've recently commented on a threadcast, there's going to be a ring around your profile. And if people click on it, it will take them into this threadcast. So they'll be able to see the live threadcast immediately. I think that's going to be pretty cool for getting more people active in threadcasts and kind of displaying it that way. And then obviously, the main threadcast calendar will be great for organizational purposes. Schedule your threadcast for a Leo fee, says Bitcoin Flood. Yeah, we're going to need, and this is something I've been thinking about how to solve for. We're going to need some way to filter threadcast scheduling, because we don't want to just allow anybody to schedule a threadcast, because you could just have people scheduling, you could foresee a lot of threadcast spam scheduling. So perhaps we'll do like a 1 Leo fee, or like, you have to be premium to schedule a threadcast in the actual calendar. I'm not sure how we'll handle that yet. But we'll need some sort of governance for those. Otherwise, we'll just see a bunch of spam in the calendar, and we don't want to see that. So what about doing something with hashtag discussions, setting them up like threadcasts? Yeah, I don't know. If you're just talking about the tag, yeah, I mean, the tag could be added so that it's hashtag discussions too. I just don't know how valuable that is to add another hashtag to threadcasts.
Bitcoin Flux said, schedule your threadcast for a Leo fee, ?
Yeah, I just answered that. So we might make it 1 Leo or premium something. We'll do something for it. Someone's asking you when. Not sure what they mean.
When? It's got a picture of me. It's got a picture of food. I mean, yeah, I'm hungry. When eat? When lunch. Catnip? When lunch?
Tokenized society. Yeah, I saw that some people are having an issue for rethreading, and John Timms actually just answered it too. So there's an issue where if you're under 80 rep and you try to rethread, it doesn't work. So we're going to get that fixed. It's not meant to be like that, but obviously we're still link filtering out and it's picking up rethreads, which it shouldn't. So we're working on that. Should be fixed in the next like 24 hours, I would say. Cool guy said, do we have a priorities list? It would be cool. There's a Dev 100 list. I put out the Dev 100 list from like 2 weeks ago, I think, talking about the Dev 100 and what we were working on. Obviously, that Dev 100 list changes literally every day, because we're crossing things off the list, we're adding things to the list, we're changing priorities. So I posted that. I may post that maybe once a month or something. I'll just kind of give a random, kind of update. But in the long term, I want to add some sort of real-time page where you can see in real time the Dev 100 list, since it's just changing so frequently. Like literally the day after I posted the Dev 100 list, probably 30 of the priorities had already changed because 10 of them were crossed off the list. 10 of them were moved out of the list because we didn't think they were as important as like 10 other ones that we pushed into the list. So it just it's constantly changing and constantly evolving as we cross things off, change priorities, get new bug reports. So having some sort of real-time list would be a lot more ideal. But I still at least want to have some sort of monthly update where I talk about the things we post, the things we've crossed off the list, the new things we've added. So I think once a month I'll do some sort of random post where I just give the current snapshot of the Dev 100 list, but just keeping in mind that it's going to continually evolve. Mara said some issues threading. I would try logging out and logging in because I'm not having any of those issues. I haven't seen anybody with those issues either in a while. So maybe logging out, logging back in would help you.
Oh, interesting. Did you see the comment from Rising Star Game? It's between the cat gifs.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice. I like that. Yeah, we've got a ton of account creation tokens. We have different ways of verifying people, so there aren't unlimited tokens, but you have to use different verification methods so that we can, obviously prevent bots from creating an unlimited number of accounts. But yeah, I mean, if they're real users and they come in and they want to create an account, yeah, you can send them to INLEO. Another huge update that I forgot. I can't believe I forgot this one. And I was working on it for so long too. So we have officially released the account claim protocol for infra accounts. So if you're signed in with a Leo Infra Lite account, a Hive Lite account, you can now claim your full Hive keys and take full self-custody of it. So we're doing some testing still and making sure it all works well, but that protocol is now fully live. And if you are, I know a lot of people are asking when about that. We put a lot of time into it. It looks great. I'll make a post about it so you guys can see it, because obviously if you're not on a Lite account, you won't even see what it looks like. But it works really well. It teaches the user about their keys. And then when they go to download their keys, it actually creates a new set of keys and changes the keys so that it's more secure, so that there's no traces of the Lite account essentially left on any servers. So it works really well. It's really secure. And now you can fully claim. If you're a Lite account user, you can turn into a full Hive user. The process is super seamless. It's really nice. It has like a 3-step flow, and you just go to it, and then you can go through the 3-step flow. And then now you've got the full Hive account and the keys self-custody. So pretty happy about how that turned out. It looks way better than I expected. Yeah, the past week has been pretty hefty in terms of developments. We've got a lot of updates. I've been meaning to make a post about all the things we've released, but I just haven't had time. We've just been rolling things out like crazy. So pretty happy with everything. Mara, there's we talked about that a few times. If you want to go back in the recording, but the ad revenue has already started, and the buys are every week, roughly. Sunseeker said she tried the account claim protocol and it worked well. It's good to hear. Thanks for testing it.
I don't know that I'm having this issue, but Cool Guy said when we type a thread, it adds random text itself. When will this be fixed? I haven't had that happen to me, but I'm sure it could happen to others.
Yeah, that's I've figured out that that only happens on certain devices and certain it seems to be actually ironically it seems to be Android people mostly on certain devices. So we're gonna get that fixed so it won't be adding random text in.
All right, so two things. One, Nifty asked if there's an update on Leo Dex. And then Tokenize
Yeah, the
has a good
update on
question.
LeoDex is that you should refrain from using it right now. I would say you've got a 50-50 shot of the transaction actually going through. The old dev who built it is, he built his own swap service. So he hasn't been working on it in a long time. And then Hive Engine changed some of their dependencies. So ultimately it doesn't really work that well anymore. And we're slowly going to be deprecating it and then I'm not sure if we'll probably merge it into BSwap in the near future.
Cool. Um, wait, what? I don't know that we covered this question about onboarding. You good? You
What was the
back?
question? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Did we talk about onboarding? Tokenize asked how the onboarding is going compared to the goals set by the marketing proposal.
Yeah, the onboarding's been going well. I mean, Erickson here, if he wants to give any of the actual numbers in the threadcast. But yeah, I mean, last month in October we had record numbers.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been going well. And then, like I said, we just released the Leo Infra, call it an offboarding protocol where we onboard people into a light account, and then the goal is obviously to turn them into a full Hive account. So we've released that, uh, which was kind of a key piece for us in terms of the marketing, is having that protocol in place so that people could claim their blockchain Hive account keys. That was like one of the biggest questions, especially when we were onboarding some of the ex influencers in the Web3 crypto space. They were saying, what about my keys and stuff like that. So creating that protocol was really important. It took a lot of time and a lot of effort went into it because we wanted to make a process that was really easy to understand and explained all the keys really well, explained how custody works. So yeah, Ahmad Manga said adding random text or removing it. I encountered this on Android. Yeah, it seems to happen on certain Android devices. So we're trying to diagnose and fix that. Piece of text. So it says, like on mine right now, it says a thread a day to keep the bears away. So it's got that randomized text before you start typing. What we figured out is that on certain Android devices, for some reason, it takes that text and it starts to like put fully random letters. They're actually from that like preset text. So that's why that's happening. We just got to figure out why it's only happening on some devices and not all of them.
Just gotta get Oprah to give iPhones to everybody and then problem solved. I was laughing at Alohade. I don't know if I pronounced that right, at his comment, or the meme with the Threadcast commenters and the parent with the kid in the pool, and then the YouTube commenters. It's hilarious. Yes, we are on Threads.
We are live on Threads on the
I am
Threadcast.
not even looking at Twitter comments, aka X. I'm only on X because I have to be. It's kind of like
Um,
what's up?
Time Travelers asked, the referral link is live. Are there any incentives if a new user signs up with the referral link? So right now the incentive system isn't built out yet, but we system. So if you go to your settings page, you'll see at the top that you have a referral link, and you can copy that, and then you can shoot it out to whoever you want. Um, and if they sign up to INLEO using your link, then it shows up in your profile. You can see how many people you've referred in. And if you click on that, actually, I saw some people asking last week how to see who they've referred, if it was possible. And it is actually, if you go to your profile page and you click that, let's say you've referred in 5 people, it'll say 5 referrals on your profile page. If you click that, it opens a pop-up and it tells you who you've referred in and their Hive account name. And if you click it, it'll take them to their profile. So you can kind of keep track of who you've referred and how active they are. And you can, reply to them, upvote them and stuff. Another feature I want to add is a automatic list for premium users, where if you've onboarded people and you've referred them in, it'll automatically add them to an ongoing list of called like your referrals. So then you can use that list to keep active with the people you've referred in, so that, and I think that this will be like a really great way to keep people active, actively engaging with new users, especially the ones that they've onboarded, which is the number one way to have a good retention rate. You need to be active with them and replying to them and upvoting them and keep them around. They need to get more and more involved in the community. So I think I think getting people into that, into those lists will be great, like a great feature. So yeah, that is on the roadmap in the pipeline. But and then also the referral reward system. So I would say it's still valuable right now to refer people in. We'll backdate the referral bonuses and stuff that we end up releasing the incentives. So if you start referring people in, like let's say you refer in 100 people over the next 2 months, and then we launch the referral incentive system later, you'll still earn the rewards backdated for those referrals. So get out there and get into the referral game. NGO baby question: is it possible to have more than one account? It is. I mean, I think most of us here, if you've been a long time Hiver, you probably have more than one account for various things. I mean, I've got a lot of accounts, obviously. So yeah, you can have more than one. There's no real reason why you can't. I would say the only way that it's kind of frowned upon in the community is if you have multiple accounts and you pretend to be multiple people so that you can absorb a bunch of upvotes. I would say that's the way to get, if you get discovered, that's the way to get downvoted. But having multiple accounts for different purposes can be useful. I saw
Indeed.
One Alpha asked a lengthy question about LPs on Cub.
I saw
His
that.
question is essentially, if you have money in a Cub farm, can you move it to another address without unstaking the farm first? And essentially, no, you can't. So if you want to move those LP tokens, you need to unstake from the farm, and then you'll get the LP tokens back. And then you don't have to un-LP though. You can get the LP tokens back and then transfer the LP tokens. But farms don't have their own tokenized representation, so you can't actually send your farm position to another account. So yeah, so you need to unstake from the farm, and then you can send it to another address, and then you can restake it in the farm, essentially. NGO baby said, I thought it was illegal to do so, to have multiple accounts. No, it's not illegal. But like I said, if you do it, it depends on how you use it, right? Wield the power with responsibility, and it's not illegal. This is Web3.
Lewis 88, the answer to that is most likely no, given that Leo is a Hive Engine token. Now, something like BLEO, in theory, technically could get listed on something like crypto.com.
Yeah, I don't think second layer Hive tokens are going to be listed on major exchanges anytime soon. Um,
Nope.
I would love that, by the way, but I just don't see that happening because they'd have to adopt the entire second layer protocol, like for example, Hive Engine, into an exchange, and I just don't really see that happening. Um, but what I do see happening is that they already have, and this is if you go back to the very long-term plans of Leo, when Rat Leo was initially launched, and then obviously went on to B Leo and P Leo. The long-term plan was always that these exchanges support ERC20, they support BEP20, they support all these various EVM chains. So by having Leo on all those chains, we're automatically available to be supported. So now it's our job to build up liquidity and build up a reason for them to list us. So going back to the premium features and how that works. Building up more premium subscribers ultimately builds up liquidity in that permanent B Leo-B Hive liquidity pool. And then ultimately that keeps growing. We get more trading volume, get more liquidity, get more maturity for the Leo economy. And then we can go out to these big centralized exchanges and get listed. In addition to getting listed on more decentralized exchanges, I think we can get into a lengthy discussion about Thorchain, but I am very bullish on Thorchain and what they're doing over there. And I think that the volume of crypto transactions that happens on decentralized exchanges, if you look at it, it's already growing in terms of the market share of decentralized exchanging of crypto versus centralized. It's already growing, and I think it's only going to continue to grow. So my opinion is that it'd be great to be on a centralized exchange, but really what you want to do is build up decentralized exchange volume. I think that's extremely important as well. Follow-up question from One Alpha. You have to say, if you're using, like, let's say you're using MetaMask, whatever wallet you're using, you have to take the LP token address, add it to your wallet so that you can see it, and then send it to the other wallet. You just send the LP tokens over.
Yeah.
But just be careful about where you're sending it to, because a lot of people that do this end up sending it to the contract, and then those are lost forever, and there's nothing you can do to get it back. So be very careful.
Don't want to do that. Yeah. You got to treat it just like you're sending coin, whether, let's just say Ethereum, from one MetaMask wallet address to another MetaMask wallet address. But yeah, the good part is you don't have to liquidate the tokens.
I think your mic may have
do
cut
all
out,
that
Mitch,
again. You
on
can just
space.
send the LP tokens and then stake them back up from the new wallet address.
You guys still hear Mitch? Let me know if you can still hear him.
We're creeping up on 1:30. We've been going a little over an hour now. Is there an opportunity to set automatic voting for one's followers? I think it would be great.
Mara said, is there any opportunity for one to set?
Vote.
Oh, Mitch is talking. I can't hear Mitch. Can you guys hear him?
I just dropped off again.
No, they can't hear Mitch. They can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
And I dropped off.
Have we reached our limit of the space? Might have to close it and jump back in, but that might be all she wrote. I can't hear you in the Zoom either,
It shows me
Mitch.
as speaker and working, but it's not working. Awesome.
I can't hear you in the Zoom either, Mitch. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, my space is crapped out.
Nope. Oh, I hope the audio was working.
I can't hear you on
that would be awkward if it's not.
Zoom. Hold on, I gotta unmute.
It'll just be me talking the whole time in the recording.
Yeah, Well,
Oh, you can
anyway,
hear Mitch on YouTube. Okay, that's good.
yeah, because I just unmuted my Zoom. Well, which is funny because I was just said we've been going a little over an hour, so I was gonna start wrapping up anyway. But yeah, I'm like literally like I show as active in spaces. It shows the speaker thing moving, but yeah, I'm not getting volume from spaces anymore. It's like I have like some kind of time limit, like craps out after an hour or
All right. Well,
something.
the spaces are silent right now. I'm just gonna mute on Zoom. So you guys could hear Mitch on YouTube. I'm waiting for him to jump back into the space. Mitch, can you get back into the space on X?
I just left it.
I
I was
can't
in
hear
it. It
you
still showed me as
on
working.
anything.
It's doing the same thing it always does. It can't fetch the space after it freaks out. It doesn't matter. I was wrapping up anyway,
Mitch,
so
can't hear you.
you can't hear me. Unmute your Zoom for a minute.
Yeah, might be Mitch and I are communicating the old-fashioned way. See what happens. One alpha, yeah, you can do it's the same on Kingdoms. What else we got? Quick questions. So Mitch is saying it can't fetch space. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap because Mitch can't get back into the spaces or the Zoom audio for some reason. But we've been going for over an hour, so I think we covered pretty much everything. So we got a couple new premium subscribers. Mitch said he's going to be out of town next week. He said he's going to miss you guys, and we'll miss him. So no AMA next week. But we will be back the week after, which will be, let's see here. So we're no AMA on the 14th, which is next week, but we'll be back on the 21st of November with the INLEO AMA. And that's all we got. So thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to vote the cat, as always. He thumbs up. Vote the cat. Vote the cat. All right. See you guys later.